Chrono Trigger isn't just a game to me. It's legendary. I still remember the first time I fired it up on the SNES and got pulled into a world where time travel didn't feel like a gimmick. It felt like the heart of an incredible story. I started as Crono, this kid with a sword and a spiky red haircut, and before I knew it, I was bouncing between prehistory, medieval times, and the far future to stop this massive world-ending threat called Lavos. What hit me the most was how natural the time travel felt. The choices you made in the past would genuinely change things in the future in ways that mattered. That kind of narrative integration was crazy ambitious back in 1995, and still holds up today. Chrono Trigger was built by this dream team: Yuji Horii of Dragon Quest, Hironobu Sakaguchi of Final Fantasy, and Akira Toriyama of the Dragon Ball fame. And you can feel their influence everywhere in the design. When people talk about the greatest RPG ever made, Chrono Trigger always gets thrown into the conversation. And it's not just nostalgia talking. From its crisp visuals and unforgettable music to its fast-paced battles that don't force you into endless grinding, the game sets standards that RPGs still chase. The combat was intuitive but deep. Characters were memorable, and the game packed a ton of meaningful content into a compact experience that never felt bloated or dull. Its pacing was excellent. Battles felt rewarding, not like chores you had to mindlessly grind through just to stay relevant. Having actions that truly impacted the world and multiple endings made each playthrough feel unique, with dozens of possible outcomes depending on how you approach the story. Players still talk about how many endings there are and how satisfying it is to chase them all. Another thing that stands out even decades later is the music. The soundtrack by Yasunori Mitsuda is timeless, with themes that instantly bring back memories of late-night play sessions and emotional story moments. Whether it's peaceful village music or intense boss battle tracks. Even today, hearing those songs takes me right back to sitting in front of my old CRT TV. So yeah, when I hear people call Chrono Trigger one of the best RPGs ever made, or even the best, I totally get it. It didn't just influence JRPG design and storytelling, it practically helped define what a great RPG could be. The way it balanced exploration, pacing, narrative, and systems is something many games still look up to more than 25 years later. Which brings us to the burning question a lot of fans keep asking. Is Chrono Trigger really coming back? Is there a remake on the way? That question has gone from quiet whispers in forums to full-blown hype trains and back again. So let's clear up what's actually real versus what's just hopeful speculation. Back during the game's 30th anniversary celebrations, there was this big moment where reports began circulating that one of the original creators, Yuji Horii, had accidentally let slip that a Chrono Trigger remake was in development. People were buzzing on social media. Reddit threads lit up, and fans everywhere thought that the dream was finally happening. But when footage from that panel in Napoli Comic-Con was reviewed, it turned out Horii never actually announced a remake. That was a misunderstanding caused by translation issues during the talk. The translator's words sparked the hype, not Horii himself. To make things even clearer, Square Enix later addressed those rumors directly, calling it a mistranslation and confirming that no official remake announcement has been made. So as it stands right now, there's nothing confirmed that a full remake of Chrono Trigger is actively in development. That might sound like a downer, especially because so many fans have dreamed of seeing Chrono Trigger in updated graphics or with modern gameplay quality of life improvements. But the situation isn't totally shut down. Horii himself has acknowledged the huge fan demand for a remake, saying he's beginning to contemplate the idea after hearing from the community. That doesn't mean that the project exists, or that a release date is set, or that development has ever begun, but it does show that the core creators are aware of the desire and are at least thinking about the possibilities. Even outside of Horii's comments, Square Enix has been taking fan preferences seriously. The team behind recent HD 2D remakes and remasters at Square has run polls asking the community which classic games they'd most like to see revisited and in what style, from pixel remasters to more substantial remakes. While no specific Chrono Trigger project has been announced, The fact that it keeps showing up in these discussions shows just how much life the fandom still has and how strong the demand remains. That said, it's important to be realistic. Right now, the honest status is there's no official Chrono Trigger remake confirmed by Square Enix. Despite over 25 years of rumors, teasing, and wishful thinking, nothing has been formally announced. But there is ongoing enthusiasm from both fans and some developers, and that enthusiasm is something Square has acknowledged even without revealing specific plans. Honestly, I think that's part of what keeps this whole conversation going. People don't just praise Chrono Trigger because of nostalgia. They praise it because the game genuinely holds up. Even new players discovering it for the first time often come way amazed at how well its story, gameplay, pacing, and the music still feel. Many fans have pointed out that the game is so polished and complete that some would rather it stay untouched than risk being remade poorly. There's a real debate in the community about whether it needs a remake at all, or whether the magic of the original is something that shouldn't be messed with. So, whether we ever see an official modernization of Chrono Trigger or not, I think its legacy is already secure. It shaped the way RPGs tell stories, it influenced countless developers, and it still connects with people emotionally decades after its release. And for many fans, including me, that's what makes Chrono Trigger feel like one of the greatest RPGs ever made in the first place. And yeah, if a remake does eventually happen, I'll be there day one to see it. But until then, there's still plenty of joy in playing the original and appreciating how far games have come because of classics like this one. So what do you think? Do you want a remake, a remaster, or would you rather keep the original untouched? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear what my audience thinks.